Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick and today guys we're going to be jumping down into the world of Polkadot, taking a look at what's been going on with the price action and what I think is likely to happen next. Now as I get into today's video, if you do find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, what are you waiting for? Check it out, linked in the description down below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there. So why not go ahead and check it out? Let's kick things off, I should say, and jump down and into the 1 hour chart, right? So this is Polkadot paired up with USDT. We are using Binance as our data source, and this is 1 hour time frame. This is your micro movements, okay? So taking a look at where we were previously, we were targeting out this little range here. This is basically between $5.1 and $5.28.2. You can see here that we actually achieved our target range. We had this move to the upside here. We got rejected. We fell down. And then we start the next structure. So everything here has moved along as expected, nothing unusual going on. So when we start reflecting on what this looks like, it's now a W, X, Y, X, and Z pattern. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this structure, we're going to move it over into our lows over here. And you can see that we've come right back up into some of those typical areas that you'd expect as well. Okay, so for the most part, this would have ended somewhere around here. So again, it's on the higher side. We hit that expectation. For the most part, it's kind of done where it is, but let's go ahead and look at this from a slightly different angle, right? So in here, you can find that we're finding brief support on the 50 EMA and 50 SMA, so that's still acting as support for us. There is a bit of a concern right here where we had this big drop to the downside, this bounce. If we do lose the 50 EMA and the 50 SMA here on the hourly, then we are going to be looking at pulling back down a little bit further. Smart money concepts is still bullish. This is very much something that's been seen for quite some time here, and we have got the fair value gap stacking up. So we are going to be looking for a correction at some point, in my opinion, towards our equilibrium, our 200 EMA. So although we're holding up on the 50 EMA, 50 SMA at the moment, I think it is going to be something that gets lost in the future here, and we move down more towards equilibrium and the 200 EMA. So as I said, from wave structure, it appears to be hitting those upper areas, kind of finishing off its patterns, and there isn't really much need to continue its moves to the upside at this point. Okay, we can see here that we actually do see a potential 5-wave pattern coming to a close. So where we are right now is interesting on the hourly. It still shows us with some form of progression potentially here for DOT, with it finding support on the 50 EMA and 50 SMA. However, I think from another point of view of the wave structures, we are actually looking more likely to lose those support levels and head more down towards our 200 EMA, which would put us at approximately $5.18. Okay, so it's not the end of the world. It is a bit of a pull to the downside at the point of recording this video. We're at 571, but it would be pretty natural to kind of see a bit of a healthy correction. It's around 8%. It's not the end of the world. Now, when we take a look at it from a daily standpoint, you can see that we are above the 200 daily EMA now, which is looking pretty good. You can see that our Z wave structure is looking like it has kind of bottomed out now. We have broken above, most recently, the $5.76. That was the swing high over this side. So I'm inclined to say that it looks like we are potentially done and the bottom is in here for Polkadot at the moment. Okay, things may change in the future, but that's looking likely to be the case, that our October low point is the low for Polkadot. It's had a good run out of here. We will be looking for corrections or at least a retest. The 200 EMA sat here would be a great place to be kind of thinking about testing along with the 50 EMAs, but essentially we are talking about $4.86 as a retest area of the 200. That will basically allow us then to turn the previous area of resistance, as you can kind of see up here, into an area of support. Okay, and that will be the ideal for the next big surge to the upside, hypothetically a big move upwards. Now this looks reasonably impulsive to the upside here on the daily time frame. However, it doesn't really meet a lot of the criteria at this point in time, specifically because this wick on the 9th of November took us down quite deeply for Polkadot, basically just down there at let me actually change this. It needs to be white, and I need to change this into a solid line. I'm going to take it down into $1 as well. There we go. So this area right here at $4.45 is the area of concern, okay, because it does, as you can kind of see, turn this previous area of resistance into support, but it does break our structure from an Elliott wave theory 5-wave trend pattern. So this now looks as more likely to be a bigger 3-wave pattern than anything else. But as you can see here very clearly, we had the high on the 26th of October, sat at $4.45.1, and then we had the low on the 9th of November at $4.45.7. So previous resistance turns support. So it's looking good. I do think we are likely to have the bottom in. We are above the 50 EMA, 50 SMA, 200 EMA, looking for a back test, probably on the 200 EMA to confirm we are out of this bearish particular structure that it was in for quite a significant period of time. Now, taking a look at it from a weekly standpoint, again, the area of interest still sits here at $3.53.2 to $4.12.5. This was the area from back in 2020 that we found as a good area of support. And everything that's gone on here is basically just retested that previous low point of November 2020. So 3 years ago, we were this low, and you can see that we came back down here and retested it. Now, the bearish thing that's going on the weekly is that we are overbought and we are up against resistance, getting resistance on the 50 EMA. So right now, they are likely to see some kind of rejection here for Polkadot. So we are looking for a pull backwards. Areas of interest for me are going to be sat at around $5.25. That is going to kind of fall in line with the 50 SMA, but also an area of previous kind of support and resistance to be found. So for me, I think this is going to be an interesting point of contact. We'll see how that kind of reacts, and it's going to be interesting to kind of see how that kind of plays out. Or of course, we fall right the way back down to the previous area of support, which was $4.22. Ultimately, we will be looking for a retracement. We are in the overbought area. We will be looking for moves to the downside. We are hitting resistance on the weekly, so we should be thinking about moves down. This is something that's going to take several weeks to play out, though. This is not something that's going to happen instantaneously. This is something that is going to take some time. We can obviously see smaller movements on the hourly still looking like they have good support to be found. The daily looks like it has to kind of reject down a little bit along with the weekly. So for the most part, it does look like we have to come down a little bit in order for us to push back up in a stronger way. Okay, you can't just go straight up and continue going up. You will have to see natural, healthy corrections downwards before we can continue the upward momentum that is there. So for the most part, everything on Polkadot's looking pretty good. It does look like we kind of have hit a bottom, which is nice to see. It falls right in line with our kind of expectations that we've been talking about. It could have gone down a little bit deeper, to be fair, but it is where it is now. And it looks like upper resistance right now, so another opportunity for dollar cost averaging into the market. Looks like it is something that is just around the corner there, probably a couple of months out. Maybe by the end of the year, we'll have a good position for Polkadot to be accumulating. So for the most part, I think that is where that is heading. Now, in terms of price appreciation, it has some pretty decent levels. We will be talking about, $100 Polkadot, potentially upwards towards 200, basically 97 to 213. Again, we could over exceed this, but again, it's yet to be seen because we didn't have a huge performance back in 2021. We don't really know what this looks like yet. It can be very impulsive. It could do something like Solana. It could do something like Cardano, very much a very steady and sharp increase in price because the ecosystem is more built out now than it was previously. So Polkadot is going to be an interesting one to keep an eye on. It's going to be an interesting one to see whether or not it can exceed these targets that I currently have set for DOT. I'm going to leave this video right there, though, guys. If you have found it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Until the next one, though, guys, have a fantastic day.